So for those of you watching on VOD, this is now the third, part 3 of this episode. I'm just bullheading through this at this point. Let's hope we can get through without another crash. Yes, that was another crash. I'm gonna just start right back in where I was with the story. It's funny, I'm all emotional now, too. Just for a different reason. It was a big event. It was a big accounting thing. This was back in college. And I put my heart and soul into it, and I was ready, and I was prepped, and I was nervous, and I was anxious. No one showed up. No one showed. I have no words to describe what that felt like. I don't. I do not know how to describe that exact feeling. It's not disappointment. It's not discouragement. There's a whole other specific puzzle piece that feels like. I've felt that more than once in my life. It is bleak. It's the only word I have that comes close to it. I've experienced that more than once, and I've seen it happen to other people way more than once in my life. It is a horrific feeling that no one should have to endure. What Soul Dancer did was terrifying, and Moon Dancer, sorry, Soul Dancer is soul crushing. I was reading chat at the same time. What Moon Dancer did is she went out there, and she was afraid. She was afraid. But then she poked her head out the window, and she got smacked in the face. That, because it's a 2-punch, if you're paying attention. And that's what makes this even worse. Yes, Soul Dancer does sound very cool. That's what makes this so horrible. The first punch is that crushing, that bleak, that, well, that was horrific, right? That's the first punch. And that is awful. Then there's the second punch, because the second punch is, this was what you were afraid of. This was exactly why you haven't been reaching out there. This is why you haven't been putting out the trying to reach out to your friends. This is why you haven't been going out to go dating and try to meet someone who you can actually be able to have a good relationship with. This is exactly why you haven't been bothering to try to run for House when it comes to a representative in the U.S. Congress. This is exactly why you have decided it's not even worth bothering trying to get into major investments. This is exactly why you haven't been doing it, because you've been afraid of this. And then the universe says, oh yeah, you're totally right. That is terrible. And of course, having just, you can feel it. You can feel it just slowly, like saying, okay, maybe I'll decide to try this. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to put my head out the window. And I'm maybe it's not as bad as I fear. No, it's exactly as bad as you're afraid of. Now, here's the thing. From an external, third-party, 38 years of experience perspective, you can look at that and say, well, that's just one instance. That's not a test case. That's one thing that might be an outlier. You shouldn't let that one thing stop you. And I know that from decades of experience. But that doesn't prevent the feeling when you're in the moment, especially if it's the first time it's happening to you. That first time, that first moment of smack. And the way she says it, I wrote it down. The first time I put myself out there, you didn't show up. You left town without even saying goodbye. I felt like I wasn't even important to you. And they convinced me that I might actually have value, that someone might want to be my friend, maybe. And you didn't show up. Been there. And you know the worst part? Most of the time, in real life, we don't get what Moondancer got. We usually don't get that. We don't get the other person or the other team or whatever, you know, the universe proving us wrong. We usually don't get that second chance. We usually don't get to see, oh, it was actually okay. We just get to live with that and deal with that. Moondancer was fortunate. And that in and of itself is sad. And of course, we finally get to see what the other gift was from Spike. That he never actually got to give it. He mentions it right at the beginning. It's like, oh, the other gift is still here, though. We don't get to see it. And then at the end, we see the picture. And it's hung up on the wall. And it's a picture of them. And Twilight studying, Twilight reading, of course. But it's a picture of her and her friends. And they go out and they go play. Yeah. I'm going to chop this off before we crash again. But I think this is at least a purple. I was actually looking at my list. Oh, this is the wrong list. Hang on. Where's my list of episodes? Sorry. I had to pull up something else. There we go. Here's my list of episodes. So, of the best episodes, we've had several purples. I'm okay with adding something above purple. Yeah, we have had several purples. That's called sarcasm, Mr. Red. It's something I do periodically that I'm terrible at. This might actually be my favorite episode. I would have to think about it. Because this episode, Slice of Life, and the Cutie Map two-parter are probably in the running for my overall favorite. I'd have to really think about that. What I think I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to give something above purple right now. I think I'll do a looking back, because I always do like a little finale thing whenever I finish a show. And we'll look at the top then. We'll look at the top stuff then, and we'll figure out where it sits relative to the other top stuff then. So, we'll see when we get there. Which will be next year, sometime around November. For now, like I said, in fear of this thing crashing yet again, I'm going to go ahead and chop this. As a reminder, we do not have another stream today. We just have, that's it. That's it. We're done. I'm going to go get some other stuff done. But if you guys, and I agree, by the way, we odds. For those of you who are interested, we'll be continuing the Spellforce run, which will be continuing tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, I do hope you guys have enjoyed. I will see you next time.